The Lyst index dropped for Q3 of 2024, and it named a very specific designer bag as the hottest luxury item of the end of last year, right? Now, I've seen chatterings about this bag. I've spoken about this bag a couple of times on this channel, but since it's apparently the hottest item, and we'll get into it, I feel as though we need to do a little bit more on a deep dive about the Row Margaux bag, and if it could ever be the next Birkin. What are the similarities? What's holding it back? What is the future of this bag? Is it worth getting? Undeniably, it's not the most exciting bag around, right? We've all seen much more visually stimulating bags, and I don't think any of us would put this bag in that category. Guys, if you're new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're gonna love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Okay, so as I mentioned, it topped the Lyst index hottest products of Q3 2024. According to Lyst, why it made #1 was product searches for the bag spiked to 63% in that quarter of the year and was up 198% from the previous year. This is not a new bag. That, I think, is rather the interesting thing about this. This isn't like a hot new, very hyped drop from a brand like Dior, who we know do these bag launches. They get gifted and seeded to different people in the industry. They all post on the same day and all of a sudden we're all talking about the and oh my gosh, I want one, and I've seen it so much that I am now brainwashed into believing that this bag is right for me. We've all been there. Okay, but this isn't that kind of situation. The bag came to life, it was birthed in 2018 and has been a very core part of the brand's product offering. We've kind of seen the Row get more and more popular in the last year. Before that, really the brand was a brand that had a cult following, right? Those people that bought the Row loved the Row. Okay, and your first The Row purchase is never the last. I've done a video all about the Row if you want to get a little bit more in detail. I'll have that link below, but this is a very simple bag. It's very good quality, it's soft, it's practical, it's roomy. It's a very user-friendly bag. It comes in a size 10, 12, 15 and 17. I believe that that's in inches. And it also comes with, it is a top handle designed bag. It's got these sorts of buckles on the sides so that you can scooch her in to make her a little bit more closed, or you can let her out so that she can breathe. And it also comes with a crossbody strap. So you have the versatility with this bag. You can look at this bag and go, I can see that in the smaller size, it's a great everyday bag. And I can see in the bigger size, it's perfect for a work situation, or even maybe even a weekend away. And the Olsons, when they talk about the Row, mention the following. The whole exercise was to see whether if something was made beautifully, in great fabric, with good fit, it would sell without a logo or a name on it. And that is exactly what this is. There is no recognizable hardware. There is, the hot stamp isn't even like foiled so that it's obvious. It is a very if you know, you know bag. And like I mentioned, this bag was created in 2018. Why now? Why this bag? It comes down to one thing, and I'm sure you're tired of it. I'm a bit tired of it, but this is what it is. The stealth wealth, the quiet luxury of it all. Everything that the Olsen said in that sentence I read out is exactly what quiet luxury is meant to be. Okay, it's about investing in those timeless and classic pieces such that you can wear them into the ground and over again and all of that, right? It's about straying away from the trends, which is funny because quiet luxury in itself is a trend and it's not a trend, and that's not what this is about. The stars aligned for the success of this bag to really take off, and it has been worn by a number of celebrities. Kendall Jenner, Jennifer Lawrence, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, all of that. It has been labelled by online publications as a future heirloom and the new Birkin, which leads us to today's conversation. According to Grazia magazine, 3 elements of this bag make it special, make it exceptional, put it in a different league from the others, allegedly. The craftsmanship, right? Apparently it's very well made, and it is. I've touched one in person. It's very inoffensive, okay? It's very under the radar. It's not going to be a conversation starter. unless you are within very specific, very sort of fashion-y groups, are you going to walk into a room with this bag and go, is that the Row Margaux bag that you're carrying? Blah, 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 right? It's not shouty, and that's not the point of it. Anyway, second thing is versatility, which I've covered, and the third thing is the timeless design. This all sounds very familiar, does it not? Now, in terms of their offering, they come in lots of different variations, right? You've got this sort of soft leather, the suede, different colours. This one's got like a, what is that? This one's got an arty edge and an unfinished something or other, okay? You can see the sort of range of colours. They're all very neutrals, which is obviously very the brand. You know, that is the biggest pop of colour that we've just scrolled through here, port, and sold out. And this is something that you will see. I am sure that if you clicked on any of these Margaux bags, oh yeah, that one literally says sold out in my face. This one does not, however. Oh, the dark taupe is available, the black is not. Okay, the smallest size that they seem to have available is a 12. And you're starting at $4,000 there. $4,090. There is a smaller size, so the starting price is slightly less than that. I'll have it on the screen. There's the little foil hot stamp there. Oh, there is foil, and it's nestled on the side. I mean, anybody got a magnifying glass to go and see if we can check out the logo on that bag? And it's interesting because for something to be trending to this level at such and luxury fashion in itself is not accessible, right? But at a price point that is even more inaccessible than other luxury bags, get your head around that riddle, is very interesting. And the Lyst index and how it positions things is based on not only on sales, because as we've seen, a lot of these bags are sold out, not all, but a lot, but also the amount that we're talking about them on social media, how much of a conversation that they're starting, how much of us are going, oh my gosh, have you seen this bag? Oh, is it the new bag? Is it the new Birkin? Could it be? Oh my gosh, is it? All of that, okay? All of that kind of adds to its placement. So there are a lot of kind of similarities with this bag to your Birkins, your Kellys, and the Olsons would know. They are big fans of walking around with the busted Birkins, the busted Kellys, and living their very best life. They know all about timeless classics. The other similarity is that they're some impersonators, which I find quite hilarious, because I was in Bergdorf the other day, did a little shopping vlog, plug for that. If you haven't seen it, it's a good one. I'm not like it's really, really good stuff in that, but anyway. And I was walking around and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the Row Margaux. No, it's not. Prada's come out with their version. Very similar. Not sure if the inside is the same. With the little Prada hot stamp front and centre. So if you want something a little bit more logo-y than the Row Margaux, and you don't mind if it's not the Row Margaux, then maybe the Prada one might tickle the old fancy. And I would not be surprised if we see more designer brands adopting a very similar bag style, because whilst, and I'm guilty of this, you know, we put designer brands on this pedestal of originality and innovation. A lot of the time, they're all going, and what's that that's doing well over there? Let me give you an XYZ version. That's another sort of stamp in the books of how successful this bag is, because imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, or whatever that sodding phrase is, but you get what I'm saying. This word heirloom is being thrown about. Hello, Lawrence. Lawrence is my tiger. I've just seen him pop up. This is Lawrence. Back to it, Cassie. The way that this bag is kind of being associated with the Birkin and this talk of it's a future heirloom and all of that also implies a level of value. And we talk about investment bags from time to time on this channel because it's interesting, right? And some people do purchase simply Birkins and Kellys because of the fact that they are investment bags, and they definitely are, and it's been proved time and time again how much investment value these bags hold, right? And whilst I do think in the short term, these bags, because of the fact that they sell out a lot, because of the fact that really even compared to the quantity of Birkins and Kellys on resale markets, there are even less of the Margaux, they, in my opinion, are going to be a very short-term investment bag. If you want to, if you're somebody that doesn't hold on to bags for long, I know people who like will literally buy a bag and 2 to 3 months later they're over it and the hype is still building and they can do quite well on resale, right? But anyway, If you want to do that in the short term, I see this bag as doing quite well, but I don't see the same thing being true in about a year. I mean, it's still much easier to get this bag in store, like I've just showed you with the soft taupe, or whatever, taupe, or whatever that colour was, that is readily available online. These kinds of drops happen, and, you know, it's not that they're just being sold on the Row's website. They have retailers at Net-a-Porter and Bergdorf here and X, Y and Z, right? So it is easier to get your hands on it. But the big question as to whether or not this bag will truly, quote-unquote, stand the test of time, and this is going to vary on the type of person you are, and I will circle back to it, is whether or not it will be shrouded in the curse of the hype. What is the curse of the hype? Well, TM, I've just decided to claim that as my own. Basically, what tends to happen that we see a lot with hot products, trends and stuff like that is it starts to take off, right? Some people, a few people decide this is going to be the next item, or there's been an influencer gifting or whatever, and all of a sudden we start to see interest spike. Ooh, oh, it's fabulous, oh, it's wonderful, it's the next Birkin, blah, blah, blah. It inevitably will get to a point where it becomes oversaturated, we're sick of hearing about it, we're sick of seeing it, it's boring to us now because our attention spans are so short, or whatever the psychologists are telling us, that then the interest wanes and we forget about it in a year, 2 years' time. And what was that about it being the next Birkin? We're over it and something else takes its place as the next Birkin. Now, obviously, this all depends on you and your style and how much you care about all the hype and all of that. I'm somebody that, hyped or not, I like the item and I will continue wearing it as and when I see fit, even when the hype has died down. And I'm sure that many of you are too. With the internet and social media and stuff like that, you kind of see the drop-off in hype a lot more obviously, because then you'll start to see people, because the trend cycle moves far too fast, faster than it ever has done, then something else comes along and something else has been shunted to the side and, oh, that's the hot thing now, not this one. Birkins and Kellys have cemented themselves as these kind of like pillars of luxury fashion. And I feel as though, I don't even know if it's possible for a modern luxury classic to cement itself to that level. I don't know if we give things even enough time. Because the hype is so much so fast, the death happens a lot quicker than it used to. And so it's harder then to have these pieces that year after year after year and time after time after time, the interest and the lust and the fact that these items are still on the wish list still prevails. So is the Row Margaux bag just riding the hype wave until the next Birkin comes along? The OG, the Row fans, are rolling their eyes very, very deeply into the back of their heads because they're like, we've been on this train long before and we've all been in that situation. Maybe it's been with a musical artist that you're like, oh my gosh, I was listening to them before anybody else knew about them, and now everybody claims that they're an XYZ fan, and I've been here from the beginning, kind of thing. We've all kind of had those gatekeepery moments, right? I'm sure that they are annoyed that the Margaux bag has become a trend, because it's a very trendless bag. The whole point of it was to be timeless and withstand trends, and it's just interesting that even something so trendless has become swept up in a hype vortex nonetheless. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I really hope I am. There you go. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this bag even interests you. No, it doesn't. Like, I sort of tried, was like, oh, maybe in the right colour, and I've, you know, sort of said in previous videos, like, if it was in a hot colour, maybe I would consider. But I would consider it, and then I would maybe, like, put a cool charm on it to, it's just not giving enough for me personally to get me excited inside, to get the butterflies going and all of that. So it's a bit of a, but it clearly is a bag that's doing very, very well and suits a lot of people, and I can sit here and go, that's a nice bag, without me wanting to participate in the purchase of said bag. Understood? Great. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are, and in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.